everyone. Thank you for joining us for our Engineering Interdisciplinary Program webinar. My name is Sarah LeNoue. I'm a senior enrollment specialist here with our College of Engineering. Calvin, who is another enrollment counselor here with the College of Engineering, is not with us today. But Eve, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, good evening. My name is Eve, and I'm also an online enrollment counselor supporting one of the majors under this program.
Thank you, Eve. Let's go ahead and get started. Um, Today, what we are going to talk a little bit about is our interdisciplinary engineering program that's offered through our School of Engineering here at Purdue. We'll talk a little bit about the background of Purdue engineering, a little bit about our interdisciplinary engineering program. We'll go over a little bit about the online experience and what you can expect in our program, talk about the available programs, tuition, application, and of course, next steps. So let's get started here. Let's talk a little bit about the Robert H. Buckman College of Engineering, our online education program. Our online master's programs in engineering from Purdue have again achieved top rankings from U.S. News and World Report in 2026. We have ranked number 2 on their list for online graduate programs. We offer doctorate programs, master's, certificates, and of course, individual engineering courses if you're looking for just a little snippet of information. We have over 5 programs that have reached the top ranking status. So we're very proud of our engineering here at Purdue. A little bit about what interdisciplinary engineering is. Our interdisciplinary engineering program is a collection of 100% online degrees focused in engineering that allows you to tailor your education to what your professional goals are and what our current marketplace demands. Within the engineering field, there are multiple factors increasing the demand for professionals who have these interdisciplinary skills that we offer through this program. From, the technological advancements and developments in methods and processes that really do require some interdisciplinary expertise to master. So we've created these programs. It's kind of a suite of programs within interdisciplinary engineering to help you meet those demands and create a program that works best for what you need in your career. So just a real brief overview. I like to talk about our online experience and really what it means for you. I did a little screenshot here of what Brightspace looks like coming in to your courses. You can see you have your table of contents, you have your different sections you'll be working through. And really, the point I'd like to make is this online experience for you is going to offer you the same curriculum, same courses, and the same faculty that teach our online courses. What we've done, what our faculty have done, is very carefully create an online environment where you can achieve the same education. There's recorded lectures, in addition to projects, homework, other assignments by the instructor. It is 100% online and it is completely asynchronous. So when you're in the course room, how often you're in the course room is completely up to you. It's also extremely flexible. We allow you to develop your own degree plan, including the time it takes you to complete your degree, whether you want to take 1 or 2 classes per semester. We allow you that opportunity. And these degrees are designed to be completed in 2 to 3 years while you work full time. You still have the same interaction with faculties, TAs, and other students online, and you have access to all the same Purdue University resources as our on-campus students. So I want to talk a little bit about our Masters of Science. It's a Masters of Science in Interdisciplinary Engineering. In general, like I mentioned, it really is designed for students who want maximum flexibility in how they want to build their degree. Instead of choosing one Fixed major, you have the ability to create and customize concentrations based on your interest and career goals. As you can see from our list of concentrations, the program pulls from aeronautics to robotics, nuclear engineering, industrial engineering. It allows you to combine them in a way that makes sense for you for your degree. This is especially important when you have overlapping interest or a specific career path that doesn't really fit neatly into the traditional engineering disciplines. And within the program, you'll work to build a concentration that aligns with what you want to do. We have options from engineering management to more data-focused engineering, emerging technologies. We also have a blend of technical and leadership skills. So at the same time that you're developing a strong engineering foundation, you can also gain skills in leadership, problem solving, systems thinking, and applied design. And like the other options, this really is the biggest advantage is having this flexibility where you can tailor your coursework. So if you're looking for something where you can have more control over your path or you're interested in combining multiple areas into one focused degree, this is the perfect option for you. It is a 30 credit program. Um, and of those 30 credits, we do have 18 that have to be specific to engineering. We allow elective courses, 12, which can be also in engineering or they can be in other STEM areas. Um, so that's how the degree is built up. So it's really open-ended for you to decide how you want to do your schooling. I am going to jump into one of our concentrations. A lot of the concentrations are somewhat self-explanatory, but I'd like to talk a little bit about our most popular program that is also very highly ranked, and that's our concentration in engineering management. This is a type of dual degree where you will get to earn the Master's of Science in Interdisciplinary Engineering along with a Business Essentials graduate certificate. Like I mentioned before, it allows you to combine the technical skills with the leadership skills that you may want if you decide to move up in your career. 9 credits are going to be specifically from the business engineering. It's courses from our MBA program, our online MBA. This is only a portion of the courses available, but this gives you a really good sampling. Oh, I also want to mention, I apologize, I didn't before. We do have some QR codes up here that you can use to scan and learn more about the program. That QR code is actually going to take you to the Business Essentials graduate certificate so you can see the list of courses that are available through that program. Now, to coincide, we also offer a dual degree program, which is a Master's of Science in the Interdisciplinary Engineering and a full MBA program through our Daniels School of Business. This is kind of a complicated graphic. This is a new partnership that we have where we are offering the dual degree through Purdue's MBA School of Business. So the website is actually under construction, should be up about May 1st. But since it is one of our most popular options, I wanted to give this visual so you could at least get somewhat of an understanding of how it works. Traditionally, our Master's of Science in Interdisciplinary Engineering is a 30 credit program. And the MBA is a 48 credit program. What we've done, you can see the courses in purple. Those are courses that you will take that will apply towards both degrees. So in the end, you're taking only 60 credits, which saves you 18 credits, which saves you a lot of time and money in getting both credentials. Now we're going to talk about some of our majors. We do have majors that are offered in this interdisciplinary engineering program that allows you to focus in more specialized in some of those emerging areas. We have a major in systems engineering, which is focused on, of course, the big picture, how complex systems are designed, connected, and optimized to work most efficiently. And again, it's not just focusing on one area of engineering, but it's really about how everything will work together and pull from different disciplines, mechanical, electrical, even computer science, but the goal is integration, making sure that the pieces function as one effective system. This is also a 30 credit program. You can see the breakdown. This has a lot more focus on the systems engineering methods and processes that you'll be working through. Allows you to pick a specialty engineering. We do have some leadership with economics and decision making and program and project management all built into this program. The next is options that really stand out. We have three different majors. We kind of group them together because we, again, like our interdisciplinary engineering, we don't just have you focus on one traditional area of engineering. So we offer concentrations in robotics, Internet of Things, and autonomy. Again, it's going to pull classes from mechanical, electrical, even systems engineering, um, to allow you to, again, get that interdisciplinary approach. As you probably all know better than I, um, none of these three areas really exist in a silo. They rely on multiple technologies working together. Within this program, let me talk a little bit about each one. So the robotics, that's really focused on designing and building the systems like control systems, sensors, embedded technology, and there's some AI and machine learning in there as well. The autonomy takes it that step further, focuses on systems that can operate independently, self-driving vehicles, drones. Um, and the IoT, our Internet of Things, is all about the how do the devices communicate, collect the data, integrate with cloud-based platforms. So these are, again, the biggest advantage to these is it's the new emerging technology with the flexibility to not be locked into a specific path. But on the flip side, if you do want to focus truly specifically on robotics, it gives you that opportunity too. So again, it's a very interdisciplinary program. Now I am going to hand it over to Eve, who handles our microelectronics and semiconductors.
Hi, good evening. My name is Eve, and again, I'm an enrollment counselor supporting this specific program here. So I will be focusing on this program and also sharing some information about our admissions process. For the online Masters of Science in Microelectronics and Semiconductors, which is a major under Interdisciplinary Engineering, the program is going to be 30 credits from start to finish. It's going to follow the same asynchronous format that Sarah talked about previously. So everything will be done online, but still taught by the same professors that do teach these courses in person. Your curriculum is not going to be prescribed, so you don't follow a set of courses that we tell you to take. We more so allow you to select courses that best align with your professional goals as well as your academic goals. You will have dedicated support staff that will help you not only with selecting your courses, those will be your academic advisors, but you will also have student success coaches that will help you with the transition from being a full-time working professional to a student, or going from your undergrad program to now your grad program, or maybe taking a break from education and then jumping back into a graduate program. So you will have that dedicated support staff empowering you and supporting you from start to finish throughout the program. Under this program, you can either earn an MS or an MSE, depending on the background that you come in with. If you come in with an engineering degree, you would be earning an MSE. Otherwise, you would be earning an MS. Within this program, although we do not have a prescribed curriculum, we do give you focus areas that you can select to guide the courses that you would be taking under each category. Those currently do involve circuit design, devices and manufacturing, system design, as well as supply chain management. I would say the circuit design and system design are probably the top two most popular ones, but you can certainly explore all of them. I'm happy to go over your goals during a one-on-one appointment to figure out what focus area must or would best align with your goals that you have in mind. Now, if the full graduate program is too big of a commitment or you want to more so get a feel for things first, I do invite you to consider the graduate certificate in microelectronics and semiconductors as well. With this program, it is going to overlap with some of the courses that you would be taking under the full graduate program. The difference is that this is a graduate certificate, so it is going to be much more condensed. It would consist of 9 credit hours rather than 30 credit hours. And instead of having 4 focus areas, you will have 3 focus areas, which include circuit design, system design, and devices and manufacturing. For admission consideration, we do ask that you come in with a bachelor's that's going to be compatible with this area, preferably in engineering. And for both programs, we do also ask that you come in with a minimum GPA of a 3.0. However, the higher your GPA is, the higher your chances are of being admitted. When it comes to the application itself, we do ask that you submit official transcripts from all universities that you have previously attended, that you submit an academic statement of purpose and a personal history statement. These 2 documents tell us more about who you are, where you've been, where you're going, why you're interested in this program, helping us fill in the blanks between all the other documents that you would be submitting with this application. We will also ask that you submit a resume and an application fee. Now, for the full master's, you would be submitting all of these requirements in addition to 3 letters of recommendation. Those 3 letters of recommendation must be professional and or academic. And since we are talking about different programs, I do also want to talk about some other graduate certificates that we do offer within the space, as well as our non-degree seeking option. The current certificates that we do offer under interdisciplinary engineering include applied heat transfer. That's very popular among our students that have mechanical engineering interest or background. We also have digital signal processing, which is very popular with students that may have electrical and computer engineering interest. And then we also have noise control. All of these certificates, again, are going to be condensed compared to the full master's program. You will see here that they vary anywhere between 12 credit hours and 15 credit hours. Now, we do also offer the non-degree seeking option. This program is going to be an opportunity for you to take standalone courses rather than joining a cohort. Many students that pursue non-degree pursue it for the reason of wanting to help boost their GPA for a full master's application down the line. They might pursue it because they're missing 1 or 2 classes from the previous institution that they have been at to be able to graduate. Other students might take this program because they want to familiarize themselves within the different engineering discipline to help bridge the gap between where they are now and a promotion that they have coming down the line or a new position that might be in, or they might just want to get a preview of the program. With non-degree, like I mentioned, you take some standalone courses, but those standalone courses come directly from the College of Engineering. So you are able to take any class within our portfolio of over 200 different courses. You do have a maximum of 12 credits that you can take under the non-degree seeking track. And if you are admitted into a full master's program under engineering, you would be able to transfer these courses as long as they align with the curriculum. What we mean by this is if you are interested in, for example, electrical and computer engineering, you might not want to take civil engineering courses, right? You could use those as electives, but the best advice that we give is making sure that you are taking courses within non-degree that align with the program so that that admissions committee can get a view and a feel of what your performance level would be at the graduate level. Now, we do want to make the clarification that if you pursue the non-degree seeking track, this does not guarantee admission into a full degree program. It can help improve your application if you receive good grades on those courses, but it does not guarantee admission. If you have any questions about whether this is a realistic option for you, please do reach out to Sarah or I. We would be happy to help answer those questions. And we talked a little bit about the admissions criteria for the graduate certificate as well as the graduate program for microelectronics and semiconductors, but let's talk about the admissions criteria for all the other programs that we also mentioned. We do prefer that you come in with a bachelor's degree in a relatable field in engineering, but we will sometimes accept students that come in from a STEM background as well, as long as you have relevant work experience and the required math. We do ask that you come in with a minimum GPA of a 3.0. However, the higher your GPA, the higher your chances are of being admitted. When I mentioned having the required math, what I mean by that, I do have this on the screen. We do ask that you come in with Calculus 1, Calculus 2, and either linear algebra or differential equations. This requirement is going to be especially important if you do not come in with an engineering degree. If you are missing these classes, unfortunately, you would not be able to take them in conjunction with your program here at Purdue. We would ask that you complete those prior to being admitted. We do recommend that you consider taking those either through your alma mater as a continuing education student or also a junior college or a community college. We do not accept Coursera courses to fulfill this requirement. And if you have an engineering background, that would also be very helpful. If you are coming straight from your undergraduate program and you don't have any work experience in engineering, still let us know about any potential internships that you may have participated in or research projects. That's very helpful for us to know. If you come in with a degree that's not in engineering, and if you're missing any of those math classes that I mentioned, you will also be required to submit a math prerequisite checklist. That is a good way for you to let us know if maybe we missed something and you actually did take these classes, and you would be able to provide documentation to show us that you did take these classes. And again, if any of these requirements do not align with where you are currently and you have any questions about what things would look like for you, please do make an appointment with Sarah or I. We are happy to discuss your specific case and how your background aligns with admission requirements. Now, the current tuition for this program is subject to change, so we want to make that disclaimer, but currently what I have on the screen is what it is. Our tuition does vary whether you are a resident of Indiana or a non-resident of Indiana. If you are an international student, you would be paying the non-resident of Indiana tuition rate. We do not offer any institutional scholarships, but we do recommend completing the FAFSA. We also recommend consulting with your human resources department to see if you are eligible for some form of tuition reimbursement benefit. Most of our students do benefit from that type of program, so we do encourage you to see what options are available to you. We also do offer installment plans. The installment plan wouldn't necessarily reduce the amount that you would be paying, but it can help alleviate that sudden cost. Keep in mind that we charge you per credit. So depending on how many credits your program is the total tuition that you would be paying from start to finish. But on a semester by semester basis, you're only required to pay for the number of credits that you have signed up for. And we do also allow transfer credits. So if you have started a program elsewhere and you are interested in transferring those, we might be able to accept those. Now, they must follow the following criteria in order for us to consider transfer credit. You must have completed that course at a graduate level. You need to have a B- or better. The course cannot be more than 5 years old, and that credit cannot be used towards a completion of another previous degree. So if you completed some type of 4+1 program, for example, or if you completed a completely separate graduate program, unfortunately, we would not be able to consider that credit for transfer consideration. And we talked a little bit about the application requirements and how some of them differ from case by case. So on here, we do have a very helpful resource that breaks down what you usually need depending on the program that you are seeking. I do invite everyone to take a picture of this or take a screenshot of this. Of course, we will be sending the recording after this webinar has concluded within the next business day or so. But we do recommend taking a picture of this just so that you have it handy. And again, if you have any questions about your specific program, we are happy to meet with you one-on-one to go ahead and discuss those. What I do want to also highlight is that there is an application fee associated with these programs, with the exception of non-degree. That application fee is non-refundable and it can be paid via credit card. We do have upcoming deadlines as well, so do keep those in mind. We do perform a holistic application review process, and we review applications on a rolling admissions basis. However, the earlier you submit your application, the earlier you will have an admissions decision, and you will be able to plan accordingly for the semester ahead with registration and new student orientation. Once you have submitted your application, it does usually take us about 2 to 3 weeks to make admissions decisions. Keep in mind your application is not going to be reviewed until it is considered complete. In order for your application to be considered completed, we must have received all application materials along with your application, including those recommendation letters. So we truly do recommend starting early on so that you have enough time to give your recommenders time to submit those recommendation letters. Usually we see that those recommendation letters take a little bit longer to complete the application. So you want to make sure you submit those with ample time. Now, when you have an admissions decision, you will either be admitted or denied, or we will give you a non-degree recommendation. The non-degree program is what I mentioned previously, where you would be taking standalone courses to help boost your GPA. In some cases, if we think that that would be a good option for you, we will let you know that that is a recommendation that we suggest. And I also have some important dates here for you to keep in mind. Again, this is also a screen that I invite you to take a picture of, just so that you can keep in mind those upcoming deadlines. If you end up applying for a term and you determine that that is too soon, please let us know immediately so that we can help change that for you in the system so that you can still get your material submitted for the next upcoming deadline. And of course, our next steps would be to submit your application. You can go on the website that we have displayed on here, or you can also scan the QR code. Again, we will be sending out a copy of this presentation. So if you have any questions on how to access the application, we are happy to cover that. We also invite you to reach out to us via email. These are our email addresses displayed here. Depending on the program that you are interested in, please reach out to us. My email is at the bottom. I am happy to help answer any questions about the Microelectronics and Semiconductors program, whereas my colleagues Sarah and Kelvin are happy to discuss any of our other offerings under this very exciting portfolio. And lastly, we also invite you to schedule an appointment. We always encourage those one-on-one interactions just so that we have more time to discuss your case in detail and help you figure out what would be the best option for you. And at this moment, I will pass it on to Sarah so she can answer some of those Q&A questions.
Hi, thank you, Eve. It looks like the question that we had, let me take a look here. It was regarding having a engineering technology degree and applying for our engineering program. I wanted to bring that up because that is actually very common. People coming into the interdisciplinary program that do have that engineering technology background. And it is certainly possible to enroll in the program as long as you meet the requirements that Eve talked about. Most crucial is going to be to have some of the engineering experience and have the math courses, which are not always included in engineering technology degrees. So make sure that you have calculus 1 and 2, linear algebra, or differential equations. And I do encourage you to set up an appointment with me. We can talk about your specific case and talk about how to maximize your application. And does anyone have any other questions? Feel free to drop it in the chat or in the Q&A function. Shazib Khan, I hope I'm saying your name right. Looks like you had a question. You can go ahead and ask.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
So I have one question. So
Yeah.
basically, I'm applying to the industrial engineering program, at Purdue,
Okay.
and I just recently sent them an email and saying that I want to pursue a master's, and uh, all my application material is ready. It's just that I took a decision later on while applying to the universities in the US. I'm an international applicant, by the way. Uh,
Okay.
I just want to ask them that if I can still apply for the program, and I got an email from those guys that the admissions cycle is like it's completed, uh, but they can consider an application which is just coming in
Hmm.
for the next intake, or for the one for the fall 2027 intake. So I just want to ask you if the cohort is full at this time, and if there is any chance that my application can be considered, because everything is ready. I can fold in the application like tomorrow. The recommendations are ready, the SOP is
Sure.
ready. I have taken the test. Everything is there.
Are you enrolling in the Masters of Science in Industrial Engineering or the Interdisciplinary Engineering with the concentration in industrial?
So I'm applying for industrial engineering.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. Eve, do you want to flip back a page with our email addresses on it? So I am going to ask you, so Kelvin is actually the enrollment counselor for industrial engineering, but he is out of the office right now. So would you mind, I'm at the very top for Sarah, if you could shoot me an email with what you just told me. And what I'll do tomorrow is I can go to the department and I can get your question answered. Unfortunately, I don't know at this time because I don't work with that program. But I do know the people I can go talk to and I can ask that question on your behalf.
100%. Sarah, I'm gonna be forwarding you an email just right now, and you can go through it, and it has my email address as well. You can get back to me with this email trail. They
Perfect.
have given me the information, but I am just not clear if they are gonna be considering or if they're not gonna be
Okay.
considering because it's kind of I have to pay an application fee, then I have to send my
Sure.
test scores. That's an added
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah.
So I don't want to
Okay.
do it if it's not being considered.
Sure. Yeah. Please send me that email. I'll take a look at it first thing in the morning and I'll see if I can get you a pretty quick answer.
100%.
Thank you very much. Um, a
Thank you,
question
Sarah.
came in, a question came in from Dylan asking about the flexibility of the online programming courses. So honestly, you don't have to worry about time zone. It is completely flexible when you're in the course room or how often you're in the course room. It is completely up to you. There are the specific deadlines, and our deadlines are usually Eastern time, but you'll know them ahead of time so that you can plan accordingly. But it is very flexible. You won't have to be in the course room at a specific date or time. Let me know if that answers your question or if you have any other questions. Glad I could help. Thanks, Dylan. Does anyone
Uh,
else have any questions?
Sarah,
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Yes.
I'm sorry. Can you just, Eve, can you just go back to the email page? I'm sorry, I didn't copy it.
Yeah, absolutely. You
Thank
can
you.
snap a
Thank you.
picture of it too. Sometimes that's easier.
And for anyone else
Yes,
that hasn't taken a picture of this, a reminder, we will be sending out this presentation tomorrow via email. So if anyone doesn't have a camera phone ready to take a picture of this, we will be sharing this with you all tomorrow as well.
Yes. Do we have any other questions before we call it a night? We have time. Well, I think then if there are, excuse me, no additional questions, please again take a screenshot or take a picture of this screen. Please reach out to us if you have any additional questions. We are more than happy to help. And thank you very much for joining us this evening. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you.